And a very good morning to Miss Fiona, our instructor for this course. So today our group would like to present the solution to the current issue that we have discussed in part 1, the infographic, which is the gender discrimination towards women in the workplace. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Failah Aiman bin Sulahi and my metric number is 72406. In an age where we talk about equal rights for men and women, there are still occurrences of people being discriminated against because of their gender. Gender discrimination is not an issue that we can ignore and tolerate silently. People should realize that gender discrimination in workplace is a serious form of employment discrimination which should not be happen. So, what is gender discrimination? Workplace gender discrimination comes in many different forms, but it generally means that an employee or a worker is treated differently or less favorably due to their gender or because the person is affiliated with any organization or group that is associated with particular gender. Gender discrimination is considered a serious form of injustice and is illegal in certain circumstances in most countries around the world. So there were some statistics that we found regarding gender discrimination that can be seen on the infographic. As stated in the Malaysia Human Development Report 2013, the number of Malaysian women employed in the formal workforce has remained persistently low over the years at below 50%. Besides that, Agency Central recently polled their network of recruitment leaders and found that 96% of the recruiters think that unconscious bias is a problem in the recruitment process. So, according to the Voices of Malaysian Women on Discrimination and Harassment in the Workplace survey, which was undertaken by the Women's Health Organization (WAO) in collaboration with research agency West AI, 56% of Malaysian women have experienced at least one form of gender discrimination in the workplace. So, there are many factors that lead to this issue of gender discrimination. One of the causes is due to the societal mindset. The overall mindset of a society or community exerts a significant impact on gender inequality. How society determines the differences and values between men and women plays a big role in every arena, whether it is employment or the legal system. So, even though progress can be made through laws and structural changes, there is often a pushback following times of major change. Gender inequality and racism have been closely linked for a long time. According to Sally Kitch, a professor, Eu- European settlers in Virginia decided what work could be taxed based on the race of the women performing the work. So African women's work was labor, so it was taxable, while work performed by English women was domestic and not taxable. So the pay gaps between white women and women of color continue that legacy of discrimination and finally contribute to gender inequality. Other than that, the division of jobs or job segregation also one of the causes for gender inequality. There is an inherent belief in the societies which thinks that men are simply better equipped to handle certain jobs that guarantee the best salary. This kind of discrimination results in lower income for women. Women also take on the primary responsibility for unpaid labor, so they experience extra work that never gets recognized financially even if they participate in the paid workforce. And last but not least, lack of legal protections. According to research from the World Bank, over 1 billion women do not have legal protection against domestic sexual violence or domestic economic violence. Both have significant impact on women's ability to thrive and survive freely. In many countries, there is also a lack of legal protections against harassment in the workplace. at school, and even in public. So these places become unsafe, and without protection, women frequently have to make decisions that compromise and limit their goals. So next, for the solution and implementation part, I will pass the presentation to my fellow group members. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Muhammad Arman bin Ismail and I'll talk about the solution and implementation for combination of awareness raising campaign and training unconscious bias. The first solution is the combination of awareness raising campaign and training on unconscious bias. By doing the awareness raising campaign, your employees should be able to know about the legal right to the equal treatments. To improve the effectiveness of this awareness raising campaign, a survey should be conducted to collect the data from all the employees about their knowledge on the gender discrimination. This campaign is to raise public awareness towards the legal anti-discrimination provisions. For the training on unconscious bias, everyone throughout the company or organization must be involved, including the manager. This is important as everyone's involvement is required to further increase the effectiveness of the training.
Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Hafizul Hazmi and I'm going to present the second solution for gender discrimination in the workplace. The second solution is to having a clear policy on gender discrimination. Problem regarding gender discrimination is a serious problem in the society, especially in the workplace. Every company should take this problem seriously by having a clear policy on gender discrimination. As an example, for every report in the company by the employees regarding the problem of gender discrimination should be investigated seriously, and if the report is true, termination will take place without any warning. These ways can make the employees scared to do any action that leads to gender discrimination, thus decreasing the cases for gender discrimination in the workplace. Other than that, these ways can also make sure that each of the employee respect each other more and they will feel more safe to go to the workplace as they know they are being protected by the policies. When they are feel more safe, they will be focused more on the work so that it will increase the productivity of the employees.
Women are less likely to participate in the labor market. They face lower chance of finding a job. They are paid less than men and more likely to be in involuntary part-time work, and they are subject to discrimination in the workplace. Traditional gender roles are slow to change. In every country, women do at least twice as much housework and care work at home than men, and unpaid. When paid and unpaid work is combined, women work longer days than men. Around the world, women and men agree balancing work and family responsibility, including lack of access to affordable care services, is the major challenge to women at work. Solution is recognizing, rewarding, reducing, and redistributing care work and creating more decent care jobs for women and men. Investing in care makes economic sense. It also makes sense for a social policy and gender equality perspective. Globally, women spend at least twice as much time as men on unpaid care work, including domestic or household tasks as well as care for people at home and in the community. ITUC research shows how public investment in paid care jobs provides women with independence to find and keep jobs in other sectors or be paid for the work they disproportionately do through formal employment in the care sector. Although critical to our social and economic well-being, unpaid care work has been largely ignored by economic and social public policy. The time and opportunity cost of unpaid care work, as well as the sheer physical demands, can have a severe and negative impact on women's well-being and economic independence by limiting women's access to paid employment and defining the types of job to which women have access. Even when care work is paid, it remains undervalued and often characterized by poor pay and working conditions. Reducing the amount of unpaid care work performed by women and providing better access to care services and promoting a more equal distribution of care responsibilities between women and men has a positive impact on women's employment outcomes, increasing their labor force participation and access to decent.
Next, I'll talk about the implementation. For the implementation of awareness raising campaign, survey is conducted and poster will be displayed throughout the company's building. This is to make sure everyone get to see the poster every day. This poster will be about the public awareness about discrimination in the workplace and support for equality policies. Awareness session also will be conducted at the time of induction. This is to make sure everyone having the knowledge about the gender discrimination and to avoid them. For the training on unconscious bias, it should be held when there is a public holiday where everyone is free and they can join. Trainers will be invited for this training and the manager should share data from the survey collected to them so that they will understand better about the problem in the workplace. The training on unconscious bias may take time, but it will leave a permanent effect on everyone's mindset.
Implementation part. How to implement the solution in the company. So, basically for the new employees, they should be briefed about the policy that will protect them before signing the contract. And as for the current employees or workers, they can get the notice of this policy through email or can be briefed by each of the department manager so that they are more alert about the policy they are protecting them. The cost for implement this solution in the company is up to $30,000. The amount is very big, but it is worth it. As the productivity of the employees increase, this will also increase the profit of the company, making it easy for them or the company to pay up the policy without having any losses in terms of money. This solution is also doesn't take too much time to be implemented in a company. That's all from me. Thank you.
Care work and care economy, a system that consists of activities and relationship involved in meeting the physical, emotional, and psychological aspect of care remains an integral but undervalued component of economies all over the world, ensuring the welfare of communities. Care work can be direct or indirect, paid or unpaid, short-term maternity needs, or long-term care for the disabled and elderly. Care work also encompasses a range of sectors such as education, health, and social work involving teachers, nurses, community health workers, social workers, and domestic workers. Care workers perform the important function of providing care through their sustained relation engagement with the care receiver. In particular, unpaid care workers contribute dependable quality care as a public good from which communities benefit without having to pay for it.